Hello, I'm Robert Bannock from Mississippi State University, and I was going to talk to you a little bit about how we use the gradebook in WebAssign in our math classes on campus. So to begin with, if you log into WebAssign, it looks like this. On the top row, you'll notice that one of the buttons says Grades. So we're going to focus our attention on this in this video. So if you click on that, you'll get a drop-down menu, and the very first one on the list is the gradebook. So that's where we're going to spend our time talking about in this video. So if we click on that, you'll get a gradebook. So this is my gradebook from last spring semester, for my differential equations course. Across the right-hand side, you'll notice that in my class, I give homework, test, exams, and then also a mathematical project. Everything in the gradebook is actually an external grade, except for the homework. The homework is in WebAssign. They log into the website and do it there. But the test, the exam, and the project that I give them are all external grades that I then import into the gradebook. So we're going to look on the left-hand side where it says Update, Settings, and Wizard. Update is literally just updating the gradebook if you make any changes. The wizard is the original setup, but for instance, you might want to change things throughout the semester. That's where the settings come in. So if you click on settings, you'll get a separate window that will pop up that looks like this. So the first one is just the basic settings. You can either use the WebAssign gradebook the way it is, or you can actually import your gradebook from a spreadsheet. We have found that the gradebook in WebAssign is more than sufficient for our needs, and I would think that most every other instructor would feel the same way if you were using the gradebook already in WebAssign. You can do the grades based on past due assignments or all assignments. If you were doing a point total system, I would probably do the all assignments. We do a percentage system, and I've found that in the past that my students understand their grades better if I do past due only assignments. The gradebook updates automatically every day at 1 a.m. and you can change this if you want to be whatever days you want it to be. But every night at 1 a.m. is really good. The homework that I assign, I make do at midnight, so 1 a.m. Updating is perfectly fine with us. And then on the lower left, you'll notice categories. Some of these categories are already built into the WebAssign gradebook, such as the test, the exam, the in-class participation, the labs. All of these are already built into WebAssign. But you can add any category on the lower left by just hitting the Add Category button. I added the Mathematica tab just because of their project that I give them during the semester. Under the next screen, the final grade, the second one on the tabs across the top, tells you how you actually want to calculate their grade. So you can either specify that you want to tell it how much each one is weighted, each category is weighted, or you can do a running point total. So I do the weighting each category. So I let my homework count 15%. So that's where the 15 comes from in the first blank. The tests are 15% each, but I give 3 tests. So 15 times 3 is 45. That's where the 45 comes from. I give one final exam for 30% and a mathematical project for 10%. So if you add all those up, that's the 100% for the course. And you can adjust this anywhere along the way if you wanted to change this throughout the semester. I've never had to, never wanted to, but you could if you wanted to. And then based on those category weights, you want to give them a grade. So we're going to jump to the last tab that says grading scale. And you can give a grading scale based on 10-point scale, 12-point scale, 8-point scale, whatever scale you want. And we use a B, C, D, F letter grade only scale. It will also do plus minus scale. So if you have an A plus or a B minus, it will do that. It will also do a pass fail. Or you could just leave the grading scale completely off, and that's another option. And then under each one of those categories, you can get on the third tab, you can go into it and adjust that category itself. So under the homework, I normalize all my homeworks. You don't have to though. If you're doing a point system, you may not want to do that. But on the left-hand side, you might notice that my first homework has 56 questions. Well, 56 blanks anyway. Some questions have multiple blanks. And so there are 56 possible points on that homework. The next one only has 20. But I want each homework to count the same, so I set it that it should have the same initial weight or normalizing the scores. You can also do drops. You can drop the lowest 1, 2, 3 homeworks, or under the category on the right, you can also drop a particular assignment if you want to, if you think maybe it was too hard or some other reason. Then the last tab is the student view. This is whatever you want your students to see. So whether it be the final score, the letter grade, the class average, if you want to show them the averages for the test, for the homeworks, if you want to show them the min, the max, whatever you want to show them. I don't show them much. I show them the final score and I show them the letter grade. I've tried showing them other things like the class average, and my students get confused on whether or not that's their average or it's the class average. So I just nipped that and just said I just won't show them that anymore. You can adjust what you show them throughout the semester. So for instance, at the end of the year, you might decide that your 90 being an A might want to be an 88 to be an A. And so you can go in and you can turn the letter grade off, and that way the students can't see you adjusting whatever you need to adjust. On each one of these tabs, you'll also notice on the lower left that it says Update Gradebook. So you want to make sure that's checked every time. That way when you hit save, it won't update at 1 a.m. It'll actually update as soon as that screen closes. That's very important if you're doing any changes so that they are automatically applied. So that's just some of the settings that we use. Hopefully this is informative for you, and thanks for watching.